Hey everyone, today is going to be an Saint Laurent day, or as it's known now, Saint Laurent. I have a full face of Saint Laurent products, and we are going to take a look at 8 of the Saint Laurent blushes so that you can decide which blush shade is best for you. Now, depending where you are in the world, there's a different number of blushes available. If you go on the international site for Saint Laurent, you find that there are 11 shades. If you go on the US site, I believe there are 9 or 10 shades. There's a new shade, so I think there might be 10. But the thing is, they're also different shades. So it gets confusing about what's available and where. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you all the ones that I have. As I've said, I have 8 of them. I actually might have a 9th one coming, we'll see. But you can take a look at what's available wherever you are and decide, what you're interested in picking up. There are different finishes. There are matte finishes and there are satin finishes. On the US site, yes, 10. On the US site, it's very clear that it's matte and satin. It's not as clear on the international, which is which. But when you look at the covers, I don't know if you can actually tell, but I mean, there's sort of a, it's difficult. But there are 2 new shades in the US anyway. First one is a satin finish, and that one is 15 Chili Crush. That's the one that's supposed to be on its way to me. I don't know if it will be. And then 23 Hot Mauve, which is a matte finish, and that I do have here today. So I'm gonna swatch them on my face. Let's put the headband on. Let's see if I can figure out which ones are not available in the US. Lavender Lust, which is 69, which I do have here. I think Rose Haze and Suave Sunstone. Rose Haze is out of stock, but it is online. I think that Suave Sunstone, though, that is not available. And Nocturnal Nude, which is number 12, is not available, at least in the US. I think the rest are. I'm just double checking. Yeah, it looks like it. But Chili Crush, for example, number 15, and Hot Mauve, which are now new to the United States, they aren't available in the international site. So I feel like maybe we got those 2 shades instead of Nocturnal Nude, Suave Sunstone, and Lavender Lust. I don't know. It's very strange. Anyway. Saint Laurent, tell us what you're doing. First of all, I have on, just to level set what I have on my face, it will be in the description box below. It is all Saint Laurent. It's the Touche d'Eclat Blur Primer, which I did use. I have a premiere sample of it, and it's like a silicone type of base primer, so the idea is everything looks smoothed out, which it does. It absolutely does blur. I mean, talk about blur primer, it blurs. So if you're somebody who likes that type of finish, it looks like the Guerlain watery oil, but it feels nothing like it. It feels like a silicone base on your face. It feels very light, but yeah, it absolutely blurred everything. Then I have the Touche d'Eclat Glow Pact Cushion, which is the foundation, which again, we don't have in the United States, but it is overseas in B10. I have the bronzer in 02. I have the highlighter in 01. I really do like all of the Saint Laurent products. And on my eyes, I have the holiday collection from Saint Laurent, which I will show to members at the end of this video, but it won't be available for everyone else until it's released here in the United States. So as of August of 2025, it will be a members only edition. I have the powder on my face from Saint Laurent. This is 05. This is the blue powder, and this absolutely does blur. I have it under my eyes and kind of around my nose and areas that were, kind of looking a little funny. My skin is very broken out, hormonal broken out kind of thing, so that's annoying, but I think the foundation and everything really looks great. I do have on the liner as well. I only have it in gray, which is interesting. Don't know why I only have it in a gray shade, but it's a really nice liner. I have to say, I would buy more of these liners. It's very smooth. And this one has a glitter to it. You don't see it on the eye, really. You don't feel it on the eye, but Yeah, it's really nice. It's very, very nice, very smooth. We'll see how it wears on my hand. I will be putting on a little bit of the Saint Laurent lip, but I'm gonna have to take off my makeup after we swatch the blushes, so I was like, we'll wait until the end. I have my Chanel lip oil that I'm trying, my $360 lip oil. Yeah, it does seem to work. It's a lot of money for lip oil. Okay, so we're gonna start with the lowest number. This is number 06. And number 06 is Rose Haze. This is the cap. I do love the fact that Saint Laurent has the colors on the top. Like, this is the foundation, so you've got that sort of like a pinkish color there. And then, of course, the bronzer, and then the highlighter, and then powder. So I love the fact that they did that. I think that's great. All right, so let's do a swatch of Rose Haze 06. We'll do 2. Shade 12. This is Nocturnal Nude, which, like I said, I don't think is available in the United States. It does seem to be available overseas. Next is 23, which is the new shade in the US. This is Hot Mauve. And last is 24, which is Suave Sunstone. Again, I don't believe this one is available. These blushes are incredibly smooth, really gorgeous on. They blend beautifully. One of my favorite blushes since, Chanel. I really like these. I think they are really well done. I'm still confused about the shades and why some are available in some places and others in the different numbers. But I mean, companies have done that for forever, to be honest. When I worked for Chanel way back in the day, there were many collections that were available. I was in the US still, overseas, and not available in the US. So, it's not like it's a new thing. It's annoying to all of us who want to try all of the shades. So next is number 42. Number 42 is Baby Doll Pink. I'm sorry, I should have showed you this is number 12, Nocturnal Nude. This is number 23, Hot Mauve. This is number 24, Suave Sunstone. And then this is number 42, Baby Doll Pink. This is probably the closest to like the Dior pink, Backstage pink. I think that's probably the closest. Then 44, which is Nude Lavalier. Then we have 69, which is Lavender Lust, which is not available in the US. And yes, it does look white. It does have a lavender undertone to it, and it will look lavender, but on most people it's just gonna look white. And I'm pretty pale, so. And last, I have shade 87, which is Pink Voltage. If I go through numerically which ones I'm missing, I have Rose Haze, I have Nocturnal Nude, I have Suave Sunstone. 37, which is called Peachy Nude, is available overseas. And 57, Coral Clash, is available overseas. Number 54, Berry Bang, is available overseas. And 93, Restless Rose, is available overseas. So those are the 4 that I would be missing from the international site. And then if we look at the US, we have 37, Peachy Nude, which I don't own, which is a terracotta, a warm terracotta matte, supposedly. It's also available here. 54 Berry Bang, which is a pink raspberry matte. 15 Chili Crush, which they say is a sun-kissed red matte, but it's under satin, so I'm not sure about that one. 83 Spicy Berry, which is a deep plum satin, which they don't have overseas. And 93 Restless Rose, which is a pinky peach satin. And I did want to pick that one up, actually, when I saw it pop up in the US, and I didn't pick it up. I don't remember why. They do have it overseas. So those are the ones that I am missing. So in the US, like easily, I could pick up the Restless Rose. I could pick up the Chili Crush, the Peachy Nude, the Berry Bang, and the Spicy Berry, and, you know, have 12 different shades collectively between, you know, the two sets, whatever you want to call it, the US versus the international. I don't know if I do that. I feel like I have enough shades here, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I like them so much, maybe I should get them, since those four are in the US. The only one that's abroad internationally that they don't have in the US is a color called Coral Clash, which is number 57. That one doesn't seem to be available in the United States at the moment. It does look very pretty. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on, you know, if I should pick up the remaining shades that are available in the US, whether I should go through the trouble of picking up the one Coral Clash in the international. I think it's probably gonna be like Suave Sunstone, but you know, it's hard to tell. I think my favorite shade actually is the newest one, which is Hot Mauve. I think that's my favorite. We're gonna use it today because I haven't used it before, but I wanted you to see all the different ones so you could get an idea. And I know that, you know, the people watching aren't just watching in the United States, they're all over the world, which is sometimes unbelievable. But you might be able to have access to some of the shades and not others, etc. So, you know, I've tried to get some type of clarification from Saint Laurent if numbers and the fact that we have shades that the international site does not. Is there some kind of, you know, is there some kind of reason for that? But I haven't received any type of clarification on that. So, and like the foundation, I don't know why we don't have it. I mean, we wear cushion foundations. Maybe it's the shades. That's a possibility. There's not deep enough shades. I don't know. So let me take off the blushes and we'll try the Hot Mauve on my face. And this part will be for members only, where I'll talk about the eyeshadow in between. Hey, all you members out there. So this is the holiday palette for Saint Laurent. It is number 025 and it's called Golden Lust. I think that's an interesting name for it because although the packaging absolutely has this golden, really pretty packaging, and I'll have more close-ups of it, the color story to me doesn't seem golden. I mean, yeah, there's, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to swatch it here for you, but it's not golden. It's like, I don't know, like kind of pink. So either I have the wrong quad in here, which is always possible, or it's just not, I mean, I don't get golden. I get kind of, what would I call it? I'd say it's kind of a taupey, I don't know, taupey rose gold? Rose gold is a good way to explain it. Yeah, I would say rose gold. This shade is definitely just topper and is gonna flake all over your face. This one is a matte, this one is a satin, and this one has shimmer to it. And I have it on, you know, my eyes right now. I think if you use, I talked about this when I was doing the video that I did for the green quad for Saint Laurent. If you use something like the Intensifies Artistry Wand from Pat McGrath, I think you can get a better look out of this, but the thing I'll tell you, and there is like a shift in this color story, I can see it when I turn my head. It's not gold. I mean, it's very pretty. I'm not saying that. It's just not gold. To me, I get rose gold. I get a rose gold, maybe, I don't know. There's a pink shift in here. And for those of you who like, you know, that rose gold kind of look, yeah, I think you guys will really like this. It's just, the name is very deceiving. You know, when I think of golden lust, I just, my mind does not go to rose gold. It doesn't go to pink. But there is definitely a pink shift in this. In the shades, when you see them, like, this shade has definitely got like a coppery undertone to it. And this definitely has the pink shift to it. So yeah, golden lust, I mean, I think they should have called it, you know, rose gold. You see what I mean? Can you see it? I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Again, it's very pretty, but it reminds me a little bit of the color of Crystal Slipper from RMS. It's that kind of tone. So if you're looking for a gold, yellow gold, that's not this. Not at all. It just, I mean, maybe it's just going completely cool on me, but I don't think so. I mean, my stuff goes cool, but it doesn't go that cool. So that's the holiday quad. I mean, the packaging is gorgeous. I love the packaging. And I really like this color story. Like, for me, I think it's really pretty, and I would definitely wear it. But two things about Saint Laurent. One, the formula is more powdery, so you definitely want, if you want to get this intensive look, you're definitely going to want a glue stick. And even if you don't use a glue stick, you're going to want like a Klinsky brush or your fingers to put on the shimmer shade and the topper shade, because they do flake. I actually put this look on, you'll see in the video, I put the look on before I put on my face makeup because I knew that it was going to go flying. So, you know, I would just say whether or not it's worth it for you to get it depends on if you're somebody who really likes this type of light, soft, rose gold kind of look. This is not an over dramatic or in any way dramatic look. And so if you're getting the idea from Golden Lust that it's like, you know, an over the top kind of dramatic holiday, I don't get that from this. I think this is much more soft, romantic. It's beautiful, but it's not, again, I don't know how hard it is going to be to get in the United States and or elsewhere. Because sometimes the Saint Laurent quads can be quite difficult to get. So just, you know, I wanted to put it out there for you, for us members, so that you can get a heads up and decide like where you want to put your money. Because as we know, even though it's August now that I'm recording this, the fall collections have already started to drop. I just did the Chanel videos. They're already sold out for their first early release. My guess is that, I hope, that when the actual release date is, which is August 18th, 2025, depending on when you're watching this, that they come out with a whole new trench. But, you know, the fall collections have started, and in October will be holiday. So, you know, this is the time to try to figure out financially, like, where you want to put your money. That's why I try to do these as early as I can, because I know I have to budget. Most of us have to budget. So this hopefully will give you some heads up. And for members, guys, I will also, whenever this is recording, I'm mentioning it because I will be having a live soon. I've got a couple of updates on a lot of cool stuff that's coming that will hopefully help with the budgeting as well. Okay, so we're going to use Hot Mauve on the face. I have the Sonia G Soft Cheek Brush. These blushes are pretty pigmented. I don't think you'll have a problem with that, depending on what shade you decide to go with, but they all pack a punch, so you don't really have to worry about that. I would say for people who like a lighter blush like I do, just use a softer brush. The softer brush you use, the less, you know, pigment you'll get. Yeah, I really like this shade. This is my favorite, and it's interesting because I literally just got it. So, you know, I don't know if I'm going to pick up the other shades because maybe one of them will be my new favorite from Saint Laurent. And what I would say about the blushes, if you haven't used them before, the blushes are pigmented, blurring, smoothing, easy to use. They blend out really well, and they last a really long time. At least on me, I've gotten easily an 8-hour day out of it, like easily. Like I haven't seen my face eat up any of the pigment. So I do have dry skin. That's something to you know, keep in mind. But yeah, I've had no problems with these, you know, disappearing. And you know, for me to get 8 blushes in a line is quite a bit because you know, I have so much blush. It's not like I need any. I have not tried the liquid blushes. I haven't tried the Dior liquid blushes either that just came out. So I have a feeling that they're similar. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'd love to hear if you want me to pick them up, because if you're interested in the Saint Laurent blurring liquid blushes or the new Dior ones, I would definitely try them out. So these are $46 a piece. And you know, to me, that is a very decent price point considering what we've been seeing in price points lately. And, you know, the Louis Vuitton line is about to come out, guys, and I have heard what the price point is going to be for some of the pieces. And yeah. I will purchase something from the collection to show all of you, but like it's high, very high. I don't want to say what it is, because at this point I think it's just, it's just a rumor, and I don't have confirmation, and I don't want to get everyone riled up and it turns out that that's not going to be that. But yeah, if it is that, it's quite a bit of an investment. So, you know, $46 for a blush that's really excellent. It does have a scent. There's perfume in here. My hair is blowing around because I have fans going because it's still hot. So this is the liner. Let's just see what happens with the liner. Yeah. Well, that's good. So the liner definitely stays. That's impressive. It's a microfiber towel. So anytime something survives a microfiber towel, I'm always impressed. And the primer is a really good primer if you're looking for a blurring primer. Like, I have to say, my skin looks ridiculously smooth considering it's been very, you know, just broken out and kind of weird looking the last couple of days. So I'll give it that. Like, that really worked. Love the powders that Saint Laurent does. The bronzer, the loose powder. The highlighter is more sparkly, so it's not my favorite highlighter, but other than that, you know, I can't say enough about the Saint Laurent line. So I've been very happy with everything that they've done. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about which shade is your favorite if you tried a Saint Laurent blush, if you're more likely to try or less likely to try a Saint Laurent blush now, and whether you like me to pick up the liquid ones, the Dior and the Saint Laurent, or you think if I should get the other shades of these blushes. I admit I am intrigued because I like the formula so much, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye!